how's it going, everybody? Welcome to this week's episode of the UvsU Podcast. I'm your host, Kyle Horn. I'm here with Abe and James Pfeiffer. Welcome aboard, boys. Welcome aboard.
Welcome aboard, everyone. What's good, everyone? What's good?
Great.
That's a little sip.
That was a nice little sip. I'm over here trying to enjoy a little beverage. He's over here, enjoying the Modelo's. I got myself. I got a little whiskey, a little bear fight right there.
That's a man collection right there.
Some good drinks.
Yeah, got some good drinks.
Some good drinks. So, fellas, welcome aboard. It's the first time I've had two people on at the same time. So
right.
So this is an honor here. That's why we had to reconfigure some things. So, James, you and I would go back a minute, man.
To a minute? Shoot.
A minute.
About like 5 minutes. Dang, man. Shoot, I was what, 23, 24 when I met you?
Yeah,
38 now?
2000.
Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah.
Dude, that was, I
was that 2009, 2010-ish range? Somewhere around there?
I think 2010-ish. I want to say 2010-ish because it was maybe before I had my daughter. It was maybe 2011, 2011 around there because it was it was maybe right before I had my daughter. I believe I was training with you guys and everything like that over at John Kim's.
Yeah.
So it was right before that. Yep. Because Jenica was still in the womb.
Okay.
So, it was 2011, 2010 around there. Yeah.
Yeah, we had a squad back in the day, man.
Bro, what, man? Bro, Dave, you, Nick, the other Nick.
Yeah.
Who's the girl that when I first came in, she choked me out.
Lauren.
Yeah,
Lauren was
dude,
a beast.
Man.
Yeah,
that was the primal, when you talk about a squad, as far as training, blood, sweat, tear, that was my first actual glimpse of training MMA with a team, a schedule, and everything. So
professional,
it was a real dip. It was like a dip in the toe because John Kim was running everything pretty much, and then we still had what's his face doing the strength and conditioning stuff. Man. And it was so crazy how much we were able to accomplish in that dojo. It was literally a dojo.
Oh, dude, we didn't fuck around. During that time.
Yeah, it was straight to it. I remember my second time going against Dave. I took a protein shake for him. And he was coming at me crazy, and I threw up. Man, I remember. Yeah, gosh, those were good days, man.
Yeah, we had you. I think at 55.
I came in at 70, but then dropped to 55.
Okay.
Yeah. I came in at 70 because it was there was that time where it was they were trying to match me and Dave up, which gosh, I'm glad they did. I would have not been ready at that time, dude. That time I would have got smoked. But they were trying to match me and Dave up, and then basically what the promotion was doing, they were trying to match me and Dave up, and me being, I was like, yeah, I'll whatever, I'll fight. And then they were they asked Dave, and then he was like, yeah. And then for some reason between promotions, they were stuff got confused or whatever happened. And then John Kim got a hold of me. Oh, what happened was, what's his face? I forget his name. It wasn't Michelle. It was the dude above him, above her, that said something about Dave ain't gonna do that one. So I was like, oh, he's probably scared of me. He don't want to fight. And I said it as a joke. I didn't really mean that. It's a serious thing. Obviously, I know this dude's 8-0 with fucking knockouts. So I was just he don't want. And then somehow that got back to your guys' camp. John got a hold of me, and I was he gave me this 8-page message and everything. I was just
so let me tell you something.
Gave me this 8-page message we respect you. You're good. We just don't know why you keep talking about.
You need to calm down.
I was I was just joking. I was just trying to, get the fight. I respect you guys. I actually wanted to train with you guys. All right, yeah, come on in. And then from that point, when I went up there, I was yeah, man, I can really, this is, and that's where the base of my stand-up still to this day comes from. And then, a lot of people stand up, the leg kicks, the way the body kicks thrown, the jab, nothing's really changed I've seen from what we learned at John Kim's with the striking. That's why I really do believe, if he was to really just take a step back and was you know what, I'm gonna just focus more on like the striking side and more the technical side, and have a wrestler coach come in. Maybe have a jiu-jitsu. He would that gym would have flourished because when it came to the striking and the mental and technique and the cardio doing that stuff was perfect. And I've trained with a lot of striking coaches. I would still say John Kim was probably like the best striking coach when it came to like teaching striking and the aspect of striking and breaking opponents down. I really did. Like I'll say that to this day. Like 13 years later, like I still say that. And I've been to Cali and trained at Alpha. I've trained at Strong Style. I've trained at Evolve. And it's no disrespect to any of the other striking coaches I trained with. They're each great in their own. But when it came to like pure MMA cage striking, kickboxing, mixing the kickboxing with it, dude, John Kim was the best, bro. Mm-hmm. And I really think he could have really just shut down his gym and be like, I'm gonna go become a striking coach at a UFC gym. And I would be like, damn, bro, because he was good like that.
Yo,
so it was
100%.
like crazy. Like I don't know if I ever told him that, but I wish if I got a chance. I remember messaging him one time, and I was like, it was after the when you guys were with him at the and I'm gonna say one fight where you guys had your fighters on. I think it might have been the last card that you actually was in the corner for with him. And I was like, I remember messaging him. I was like, yeah, I've trained around, and for real, you still were the best striking coach I've had for sure. Like for sure, could have easily went to a gym and been like, I want to teach striking, and would have been probably in the corner of a UFC fighter. This is my striking coach, but we all know things happen in life and stuff. So like
they do, but yeah, I would agree with you. I can't doubt like one of the best striking coaches, and just be able to break things down and technique and so on. And now like you fast forward in time, like when I'm coaching guys now, like that's definitely where my pedigree comes from.
Exactly,
like 100%. Like anything comes from like the kicks, the punches, some of the workouts. And it's funny because now I hear like this generation, which is funny to say. Right. They're like, man, like this training's hard, and I'm like, hard. Like we're doing this for an hour. I'm like, where like back in the day we do it for 2-3 hours.
2-3.
And then you like get your water bottle and like you're like, oh, I'm cool for that. And then John would be like, where are you guys going?
Where you go? Oh,
and I'd be like, I'm going home. That was a 3-hour practice. He's like, now suit up. We're sparring now.
We're sparring now.
I was like,
oh my god.
It's time for the wind down.
Yeah, I was like, well, it's like 12 o'clock at night. Like,
look, I got 2 stories. Okay, so it was when I remember when I first was starting to train with you guys, and I was trying to get home because I was confused at what time you guys started, but then at the same time, remember, I lived an hour away, so I didn't want to drive up there. You guys get done and everything like that. So I remember like waiting around that, and it was like 30 minutes past the training time I thought it was, and I was just like, well, I'm just gonna, whatever. So I did a training thing at home. He calls me and he's like, where you at? I'm like, well, I did a training at home today because I didn't know I forgot the time. I was trying to get a hold of you or whatever. He's like, yeah, they're up here now. You should probably come up now and train with your get up here because your teammates up here. All right, And so there was another time, John. So I get up there. I'm actually on time, and I'm hitting the bag. And he had this cardio kickboxing class, and then he had to go run some errands. He had to go do something. So he was gone for like 2 hours. I was like, all right, I'm just gonna go home because I had to work the next morning. So I get like literally 20 minutes away from the house. He calls me. Where you at? Well, I worked out. No, you should come back. You really need to come back. You need to put this work in. This is the time that he always had a way of saying things to make you be like,
I gotta do this.
Like I'm literally like, okay, you know what I'm talking about. I'm in Wakeman.
Yeah, you're right there.
Right there. He calls me, hey, I think you should come back and get this work, Went back around, drive an hour back and you know what? I'll be honest. Those type of training schedules are usually always the best ones. Those were always the best ones where when they left, you feel like I actually accomplished something. But he had a tendency to do that sometimes. Like we'd be like, yeah, come up, and you come up, and be like, all right, I gotta do something. You wait around a little bit. You're like, all right. And it's not even just him. I think that's MMA coaches in general. Over at Strong Style, love you, Coach Martin. Love you. You know I love you, man. So he might not even see this. He's so busy and rich in life. He ain't even go by. But so he was like Coach Marcus. He's always like on time, gear on the mats, ready to go. So we get there. You get there. At first it was first 3 months it's like that. Then as you go on, it's like, all right, gonna start it later. Later. And I get it because at the end I get it because they gotta go and discuss who's here, who's sparring with who, what's the game plan, what are we gonna focus on. I get all that, but it was like it'll get later and later and later.
Like,
sooner or later,
I gotta work.
Hey, look, I get it. I know I'm not gonna be a UFC pro like that. But at the same time, I gotta get to working more, guys. Y'all remember I drive out because I remember I think there was only at that time there was only one other person at that time that was probably driving further than me consistently, and that was I believe his name was Max. I believe his name was Max, and he would have a 2-hour drive. So we both be sitting there staring at each other. I'm an hour drive now, I work midnight shift, so it's like. Right. I would, after I get off, I'd have to make time, hurry up, shower, let my skin dry out, because sometimes get ashy. You got to let me put the lotion on and everything, put deodorant on everything, and then go to work. So, while we're waiting around, I'm just like, guys, man, y'all cutting into my shower time, man. Right. And then the worst part would be all right, you two are going to go, you two going to go, you two going to James, you and Pelton's going to go last, or whoever I was with that day. And it's like, you and Nico's going to go.
Hey, people that don't work the midnight schedule, they don't understand.
They don't get that, and I think that's a shift in the generation from when we started fighting was and I could tell that from doing this when we started fighting, it was really you could kind of work 40 or 20-hour job a little bit part time, train and be successful in it. Now it's with the economy and life, it's a lot of fighters are you have to work a full-time plus overtime and then take your butt to training.
Oh yeah.
And then what's crazy is I feel now that which is funny because I was watching Sugar Sean O'Malley one of his podcasts, and I was watching another fighter, and it's you know what? I look back at it, I was I really wasn't that far off. If I would have just stuck to it just a little bit tighter. And I've noticed a lot of these fighters, they Justin Gaethje said himself, he's I don't have a relationship. I don't have, now mind you, I'm a full-time dad, but I felt there was times I should have cut off girlfriends. I should have cut off the fun with females and stuff. That's the main distraction in this. I'll tell anyone. Yeah. Real talk. That is the main distraction in the sport is when you get involved with females. For real. That's going to be the main distraction because everything else I was doing right. I was training. I was eating right. I was making sure my focus was in. It's just that 1% turned into 30, 40, 50%, and it was really the females and stuff. I'm just, to be honest with you, and I look back at it and I'm watching these guys' podcasts and watch what they're saying and stuff, and they're basically, I don't,
sound like you needed a little more self-control.
Right. So it's a lot of these guys are just I just train, I go home, and I stay to myself and stuff, and I did most of the stuff. I didn't really go out. I didn't really, do too much. It was just the female side.
No, he didn't, because he'd be like, man, we about to do something. I'll be all ready. What's up? Man, I crashed out. Man.
He knows it too. Because I be the one hey, we're going to go out and do something. We actually we don't even do nothing. We're going to actually
go out
do
this
something
weekend.
tonight.
Go out there. I had to look at him and be like, man, just hit me if you're ready to go. Just hit me if you're ready to go. Because I'm always on the go. So.
Yeah. It's funny you say that because I remember back in the day, like you'd have like the cage bunnies, you know, they'd be like, oh man, he's a fighter, he looks good, and he's a fucking badass, and you know, they'd be all about it, and then obviously you're welcoming that attention, you know, about it, and then when you're like, all right, I gotta start fight camp, you know, like this is what you know what it's gonna be, and how fast they'd be like pissed off by it, and be like, well, you're being selfish, and it was like, well, hold on a second,
I have to go right now.
How the hell did you think I got like that? To be prepared for that. And on top of that, in 8 weeks, I got a guy that wants to smash my face in. So yes, I am going to be a little selfish as far as the sleep, the diet, the training 2-3 times a day. You know, like I got to be best off with that. And then they'd be like, "Oh, forget you then," and like leave. And I was like, "Okay, like I didn't do anything." Like the thing that you thought was attractive is not attractive
to you.
At the end of the day, like
the
mindset,
the foundation,
You just like to look at me.
You just like to look at me. You just like to
You
look
just
at
like
me.
to look at me. Is all it is. You like to look at me and touch me, but you don't really feel me. You know what I'm saying? You don't really feel who I am. You know what I'm saying?
So yeah, that's basically like, yeah, you know, like I said, like anytime I think back, it's like, dang. If I didn't go to train that day, dang, that was because of argument with, you know, got an argument because of this, or, you know, something came up with this. But yeah, you know, if there's just one thing I give to the generation coming up and doing it now is realistically, like a lot of this stuff you're going to do alone. You are going to be alone. You are going to be alone.
I told my son that'd be the number one reason why you don't make it, bro. I'm telling you, it's gonna be a female. I'm telling you, they tell you drugs, gangs. Now I'm telling you, the number one reason why you gonna end up not going where you want to go, it's gonna be over a relationship. Because for real, because you know when you're in a relationship, you know a good dude or a good girl, they deserve your attention, and that's the problem. Like if you're with a good one. How do you balance that?
How do you balance?
You want to give all the attention they deserve, but at the same time, your profession has to have time too. So it's like, that's why you shouldn't even get involved like that.
Especially as a fighter,
involved till you're ready.
When they don't understand like the weight cut, the weight cut to where like you're especially when you're down to the last 10-5 pounds.
Right. They don't understand the attitude you're gonna have.
Just a little bit of agitated you get over things.
The hangry.
Like I can't drink, I can't eat as much as or drink like I want.
You don't know how miserable I am.
I'm miserable. Now. It's not you, it's me. But yes, I'm responding the way I am because
I got other things going on. I'm not in that regular mindset that most people are during this point in time.
And the girls are like, "What about me? What about me?" And like right now. It can't be.
Yes, it can't be.
What about me right now? You gotta
it can't
back.
be.
And I'm sure too. I'm sure female fighters have the exact same thing.
The same thing
on the other side.
Yes.
So before y'all try to stop
That's why I said both men and women. You got a good dude or a good girl.
Yes.
They deserve your attention. They deserve all that. You know what I mean? So how do you balance? That's why you shouldn't even be worried about it, because if you get caught up with a good one, you're gonna take away from something. You're gonna take away from something. It's not necessarily a bad thing, but it's gonna take away from because she's a good woman. You know what I mean? Or he's a good dude. So you know what I mean? You're like, oh, but I don't want to lose this. And it's like, see, now. The energy, your universal energy is shifting, because now before you really wanted this more than anything.
Yeah.
Now you're kind of wavering the fence, and that affects stuff. You know,
it does. It does.
It really does.
Raz
Zahabi says, who's George St. Pierre's coach, he says, he's like, unless you're 100% mentally in, we won't agree to a fight at all.
Yeah,
whether it's financial, whether it's family, whether it's relationship, he's like, nope, because you're right, that one little crack and the armor is like, we'll weigh you over here and take you away from your game. So you understand why, once you're in the game, why you hear fighters being like, in fight camp, I'm gone. Like, I'm isolating myself away from like everything to find that mindset, that animalistic behavior that you need, and not to have any of that. And if you do find a significant other or family or friends that know that and support that, that's like golden.
That's golden. That's
great. Golden. And that's why like the people who I train now, who do like want to fight, I'm like, listen, talk to like your family, talk to your significant others, and be like, hey, listen, when I'm not in fight camp, let's go out, go out and have date night, go do this, and go do this. But then when I say I'm gonna accept a fight, I'm going to fight camp. Understand that I'm not going to be as available to that.
Right.
You know, and if you're okay with that, then hey, let's go. If not, then we'll have that conversation like right now.
9, 10, 12 weeks of
stop it right now.
of hard training to where I'm not, you know, and even if I wanted to be, even like I just remember just me like even like I just remember even being on the outside of fight camp, just how it was like mentally, like it was hard. If I just had a feeling, I knew a fight was coming, and it was just like I know something's coming. It would be hard for me to enjoy. Like some people they were still able to enjoy movies and play the games and stuff like that. Like to me, I wasn't able to do that stuff really. Like I still had that in the back of my mind. Like I have a fight possibly coming up. Like I remember that when the last fight, we were kind of out just having a good, you know, just kicking and stuff, and we were just talking. And then I remember like I was like, yeah, well, we gotta go, bro. I just can't be here. And you were just like, my opponent's not doing this right now, so I feel wrong being here right now. You're like, all right, let's go. Let's say less. Let's go.
Say
less.
less.
That's all you gotta say. And that's the type of people you need around you. Like that's why I say you need people like you, people who don't know you, but people like you, friends, brothers. Those are the type of people you need around you while you're in this, because they're the ones that are gonna give it to you straight. Give it to you, be like, bro, this is what I'm seeing. Just like our conversation earlier, they're gonna give it to you straight. They're gonna not beat around the bush. And if you have a plan or a goal to get to a certain level, they're gonna be like, hey, are you laying down the foundation? It's saying it is one thing.
Yes.
Laying down the foundation and actually doing and follow through with it is another thing. So like you need those type of people around you for sure. So especially now, because dude, everyone wants to fight now. Everybody wants to, you know, make it to the, you know, and then when they really get in there and feel it out, it's like, oh, do you really want this?
Right, I was just saying, a lot of people like the idea of attention until you realize how much you have to actually sacrifice. I think that's why there's so little people that actually make it. People always say, oh, only so many in a million make it, but I think that's just because there's only so many people that are really focused. Like if people really look themselves in the mirrors, like you said, they would be able to be like, nah, actually, I was kind of chasing this one female at that time, or you know, I was going to the club a little too much, enjoying myself a little too much, which is, it's not a bad thing, it's just natural. It's what most people do. So that's why there is only one champion. It's just usually only one or two motherfuckers that are actually like, I'm not doing, shut up. No, I don't hear nothing. You ain't got nothing to do with this right here. I don't female, friend, I don't care, mom, dad, I don't care, y'all get away from me. You know what I'm saying? Like, and they be the ones that be successful because they're like maniacs about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
that's in anything.
Yeah,
that's
at any
sport,
level,
business,
at any level,
successful.
man. You got, you know what I mean? Focus and effort is the key to success. That's what I used to say all the time. Like, you got to know what you want, all right? But more than anything, on the other end of that, you have to be willing to do whatever it takes to get there. I'm talking about you can't be like, well, you know, I got to work. I still got to do. No, listen, that you knew that before you said this is what I wanted, right? Like you already knew that. So you can't keep bringing that up.
Right.
You either want it or you don't want it. And there's very few people that can actually get to that point where they're just like, that's literally all they want. You know what I mean? So that's why I don't think the success thing is necessarily like one in a million.
It's not.
I think it's more like because only one in a million is actually gonna get that
mentality and that mindset
of
to
like,
get.
You know what? No. Like you said, I don't think my opponent's doing this, but there's somebody out there that's like constantly thinking that. Every little thing that they're doing. You know what I mean? So, you know, you got to give it everything you want and be okay with whatever the results come. But I think that most people would find out that if you really gave it everything you had, and whatever result it is, you're gonna be fine with it.
Right.
Because you know I feel like it's only the people that regret, that look back and be like, well, I could have did this. That's what hurts.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
But like if I gave it everything I got and there was just somebody better, I feel like, I don't know, for me it's always been easier to accept it. Like,
100%, because there's nothing to blame. And I always had that mentality when I finally competed. I was like, listen, I'm gonna be so fucking locked in that there's no room for excuse. There's no room for self-doubt. If you go in and you beat me, you're a better man. Props. Whatever the case may be, you were just better at me at that. I can accept that than me going in there hours before and start mind playing it real quick. Dude, you took that day off, you took this day off. You that email. And then all of a sudden, like, that doubt starts rolling in, and you're like, I don't know if I'm ready for this. And then within an instant, you just beat yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Now you're not going in there like, well,
you lost before you even walked out there.
Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah.
I'll take a loss, but I won't take
a And that's with anything.
Yeah.
Like you said before, that's with anything. It doesn't matter. Even your everyday job, it doesn't matter. You know what I mean? Like, you got to decide when you walk in, hey, I'm here to do this. This is what I'm here for. All that other side shit, there's no need for any of the energy to get wasted over there. You know what I mean?
No, yeah. I mean, you're in the workplace all the time. And it's like, well, did you come in today to give your best from whatever, 9 to 5, midnight shift, or whatever it is, making phone calls, selling this and that, or did you get caught in the office politics, the negativity? Were you the water cooler talking about this and that, and all of a sudden now your whole vibe is thrown off, and this is thrown off, and then well, you left there. Well, you just shit the bed at work because that wasn't your best there. And then were you out the night before? Okay, so now you skip this workout, and it's just this constant this constant thing. Because I tell people, I'm like, I love being in like a fight camp. Mm-hmm. I like being in a fight camp. I just like having that mentality because everything locks in.
Everything
like your sleep's good, your diet's good, like your training's good, like you just feel good. So when I feel good, I'm giving the best version of myself to my boys, to whoever, to my family, to my coworkers. Like, I'm just running on like a full throttle, and I try and explain that to people, and they're like, "Yeah, that sounds terrible. That's a terrible lifestyle."
They don't understand.
It's like, I get that. I see what you're saying, but for me personally, I like that all the boxes are being checked.
But also, my thing would be like, maybe it doesn't sound that great to you, but maybe try it first before you say that what I'm saying sucks. You know what I mean? Like, that's always been my thing. Like, I try not to get too caught up in who's saying whatever they're saying. I try to be like, all right, will this actually work? If this works, you put it to test. If it works, then it works. If it doesn't, then okay, I don't have to listen anymore.
Right.
You know what I mean? You move on from that. But yeah, it just, at the end of the day, I think you just got to go. You got to do it yourself. You know
100%. That's where the whole UvsU comes from. It's you in that mirror. Like,
exactly.
It's you can put on social media, you can put on your friend's family, you can put on like the greatest act the entire world's ever seen. But then, like, when you wake up in the morning, you go to bed, like, and you're staring in the mirror, only you know. Only you know. Hey, did I do this? Did I do this? Did I not do this? Did I not do this? You should be doing that. Like, you're the only one that knows that and can control that.
You actually love and respect that person you see in the mirror.
Yeah.
Because you can end up becoming a shell of yourself because you don't even want to look at yourself. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And so I try to tell motherfuckers that all the time when they talk to me. I'll be like, hey, look, if you can learn, like, I don't be upset that much. No, I'm not. Some people would say, like, yo, no, you're not in the best position in your life. But here's the thing, though. If I evaluate myself and I look at it and I accept it, then it doesn't matter that you don't think I'm where I need to be. As long as I'm comfortable, right? As long as I know that where I'm headed, I have an understanding of myself. That's really all that matters, because what you see right now isn't the end result. Right?
Yeah.
But the only way I get to the end result is if I don't see what you see.
Right, yeah,
I gotta know. I gotta be confident in what I see.
And it's never ending. There's never one final version. You're constantly going through the ups, the downs, the trials, this was good, this was not good, and you're constantly tweaking and doing this.
And some people do that and they beat themselves down. And I'm like, well, there's a balance there. Like, yeah, I get it. Some people are like, oh, you're always thinking negatively, but no, I'm always evaluating myself. I'm always checking myself. Like, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. There was a time when I was younger, when I was like always finding myself in trouble, always arrested, always locked up, always something crazy going on, and you start to be like, after a while, look back on it, it's like you have more control over it than you think you do. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, it's your decision. Like, am I going to choose to let everything rile me up, or am I going to choose to focus on, you know, the path I'm actually trying to take? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, because at the end of the day, you know, you're going to have people who are going to be saying stuff no matter what you're doing. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, for sure.
You got to be like, all right, is it really smart to go over here where I already know, where I know something's probably going to happen? Like, again, that's where we talk about, well, you know, what do you want to do? You know what I mean? What do you want to do? Like if you know at the point in your career when you knew, like, I'm not spending too much time with this chick. All right, well, when you get to that point, you got to make that decision. Like, what do you want more? What do you want more? Her? Or do you want that hand raised? What do you want? And it can be difficult. It's really hard.
100%, yeah.
It's not easy, you know what I mean? But again, if you create habits, I feel like if you learn to keep putting yourself in that mirror, eventually you have to stop lying to yourself. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, you have to start, because you're going to start feeling stupid. I know me, when I started doing it, there'd be times I'd say shit and I'd be like, you just kind of laugh at yourself like, bro, you sound corny right now. Don't say that unless you mean it. And you don't realize it, right?
Yeah,
you don't
right.
Because, people see your face. You don't see your face when you're talking.
Mm-hmm.
So, but when you're looking in the mirror and you're saying shit, you start to see your own doubt in your face, right?
Yeah,
you start to see like, oh man, I didn't believe that. That didn't even the look on my face, that didn't even come across as real.
I told some
Yeah,
people
like when I said that, no wonder he or she was looking at me like that when I said that, because fuck, I didn't realize my face was looking like that when I said it. I don't even believe that. You know what I'm saying? Like,
right, yeah. You just look at it like,
yeah.
what are you doing? Come on.
Right. That's what I'm saying. You start to, and then, for me, I start to connect it, everything, like, all right, okay. Then you start to be more real, because you like,
it can't be fake with myself.
yeah, I can't be fake, because I got to go to the mirror later, and I know the other personalities will look at me like, man, come on, man.
Come on, man. Not that. You're better than that.
Capping right now.
You said that last year.
Yeah, man, listen, man, you said that about 3 years ago. Is that the same thing you said? Like, what are we talking about?
So how long have you two know each other? How'd you guys meet?
Shoot.
Work.
Like,
it's been like 8 years now, 9 years.
10, almost 10
Okay.
years. Yeah.
Time flies, man.
It really does.
Time flies.
It really does.
Time
Yeah,
flies.
we met
Time flies.
at work. I was about going into exactly my second pro fight. I was getting ready for it, and I remember being like, yeah, I fight and train and stuff. He's like, oh yeah, really? We'll come out and check out some time and stuff. I was like, and when you hear people say that, but then how often do they actually come and show up and be like, and no, but like it got close and he's like, yeah, I'm gonna need some tickets and stuff. And then he actually bought some. I was like, all right. And then he actually showed up and stuff like, with his family and stuff. I was like, all right. And then just from that then on, it's just been bros since, pretty much. Been at all my fights, a lot of my training camps. A lot of times where he had to weigh myself without the undies on, and he'd be like, bro, just weigh yourself. Just go ahead and do it. I got a son that does wrestling. So yeah.
I mean, I grew up around fighting, right? Like, I fought in the streets. I trained boxing and jiu-jitsu, but I never got in the ring. But I grew up around fighting all the time. So when he was like, oh, I fight, you know what I mean? In my mind, I'm like, from the familiarity of the fight game, I'm like, yeah, a lot of people say that, right? A lot of people say, oh, I fight. Well, okay, yeah, you train. But what I know from personal experience is training means nothing. You can do all the training you want to. When the bullets start firing for real, if you don't have it up here and in here, it doesn't matter that you're trained. You're still going to get your ass whooped. Like, that's what I found out in my life from my little bit of training and all the fights that I've been in. It was like I realized, like, there was plenty of times where I came into a situation and was like, oh man, this dude's too big. I know he trains. He's like, you know what I mean? But when the fight starts, I won. So as time goes on, I see all these fighters, and I just start to notice the mentality difference, right? So I noticed why I didn't continue on. But then I see that in other people, so I'm like, all right, a lot of you guys are really capping and you just kind of like the idea of being a fighter and you think you're tough, you think you're cool. It doesn't impress me. So when he told me he was a fighter, the first thing I was like, all right, here we go again, another guy. I'm looking at him, you know, and, you know, with respect, it's my bro. And I respect him for it, right? But, you know, I'm a project kid, you know what I mean? Like, so like, he's at work and my man is in like the tightest clothes ever. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's in like the tightest clothes ever. He's like, I'm a fighter and all this, and I'm just like, oh man.
He's a pretty boy on the outside.
In my mind, I was like, man, you sound like so many suburban white guys that I know. The tightest clothes ever. You want everybody to see your muscles. We get it. Like, you're a fighter. So, but then he showed me some videos, and like I said, I actually grew up around fighting. So when I watched the videos, I noticed that he had some real talent. So I was like, well, man, if you for real about it, let me test the water. Like, cause he's looking at me like testing the water. Like, are you really, like, are you truthful? Do you really support? But I'm looking at it from the other way. Like, are you really a fighter? Are you really what you're saying you're what you are? Because, like, you know, respectfully, I'm the type of person, like, whatever you say you are, I'm going to give you an opportunity to show me that that's what you are. I don't care what you are, but if that's really what you are, okay. Yeah. You know what I mean? Do what you do. You know what I mean? Like, so I watched his video, and I was like, bro, you ain't just like a guy out there trying to fight. Like, you actually got some talent. If you really hone in, I think you could be pretty good. And so then I went to see his first fight. And I was like, yeah, at that point, it was like we had this energy where we had got past the tight clothes and shit. You know, past all that, you know what I'm saying? Because you're at work and people are, you know, questioning. They're like, bro, you hanging out with dude, his clothes are really tight. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, bro, that's it. Listen, I told him, I respect that you just be who you are, right? Whatever it is. I mean, if tight clothes is what you do, it's tight. It's not my, like, I don't care what you look like.
Right,
know, right. As long as it's not too crazy. Like, I can't really, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, we can't be out and, you know, you be in spandex or something.
Right.
Can't do that.
So I can see James rocking that out.
That's what I'm saying. Like, that's why I have to set that boundary.
Yeah.
Like what?
Yeah,
no, my man, listen. My man came to work in a Deadpool outfit. This is what made me tell him, like, hey, bro, if we go out, you gotta just calm it down a little bit. He came to work in a Deadpool outfit, and it's like, you know. And I'm looking at him and I'm like, bro, listen, I get why you're doing it, right? Like, you know, you work really hard on your body. You want to show your body off. There's a lot of women in here. Like, I get it. But, you know, I think that's why we've always been cool, because we've always been able to be real with each other.
Right.
Like I was like, bro, listen, like that's cool. I get what you're doing, but like when we together, like I need you to tone it down.
Tone it down just a little bit.
Like, tone it down a little bit, bro. Just a little bit.
Bring out the J's. Bring out the.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. I need you to tap into that inner Cleveland. You know what I'm saying? And you know, but yeah, I mean, as from day one, man, we were always, our energy was always real with each other. You know what I'm saying? And I think that, more than anything, is why we're still cool, because like it's so easy to encounter people that are only around for momentarily to get something out of you, right?
Yeah.
Like, something that you represent, they like, and they stick around for that. But once you don't supply that anymore, then they're like, oh, they kind of disappear. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
And for me and him, we could not be kicking it for forever. You know what I'm saying? It could be months could go by, but then it's like, right, like, you know that I know that I know that you know, life is what it is, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, right.
Like, true friends know that and can do that.
Right.
Because I I know you out there, you're chasing your thing, you know,
Right,
and you're out there
right.
chasing your thing, and it's like, all right, dude, we'll catch up, man.
Catch
Like,
up,
go do your thing, bro. Like, go have at it. So I know exactly what you're.
Yeah.
And initially, I was a family man at first. You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
you know, not so much anymore. We, you know, it's round 2.
There's that.
It's a new day and age. Right.
So that shit back a little bit. So you're sliding out of frame. I don't want to just. You're good, man. You're good. I just don't want. I just want you out of the frame. And there, who the fuck's talking where James goes?
Right.
Yeah. So how did you guys then get into martial arts? Like, what was your attraction to get into it?
I am a little older than him, right? I was born in the '80s, and
The good times.
you know, in the late '80s, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm originally from Phoenix. I'm not from out here.
Okay.
Right? So the West Coast is a little bit different. Like fighting has always been a big thing out there. So when I was young, I used to get into Bruce Lee. Like, everybody had the Bruce Lee shoes, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? In my neighborhood, you know what I'm saying? Like, and I can't speak for other neighborhoods, but in the Mexican neighborhoods, bro, like, we got down with Bruce Lee. Everybody had the Bruce Lee shoes, you know what I mean? You know, sorry, there. People walk around with the white beaters, constantly like, whoa, type shit, you know what I mean? So, you know, and being from Phoenix, for people out there that know about Phoenix, like, it's a lot of boxers. Like, when I was growing up, there was boxing rings everywhere. There was, so everybody was fighting when I was growing up in Phoenix. Like, it was one of the first things I noticed when I moved here. When I moved to Sandusky, it was like fighting wasn't the thing here like it was out west. So out west, man, it's like everybody, like, you couldn't underestimate nobody. Everybody could scrap. And here it was like I encountered a lot of people who, like, you would think could fight, and then you fight them and you're like, bro, you're weak. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, so, but at a young age, boxing in my neighborhood, there was a champion, a boxing champion named Michael Carbajal. He was from Phoenix when I was growing up. He had 2 tails in the back. He ended up going to prison, getting locked up on he got into it at a gas station. But he was actually from my neighborhood in Phoenix. And when I was growing up, man, we used to we were in the projects, and my dad, we were being trained by a Golden Glove champion. It was one of my dad's good friends. So we had a bunch of different pairs of gloves, and in my old projects in Dupavilla, everybody would come, all the kids would come out, and you would see this big old crowd, and everybody would just be like putting the gloves on, and like winner takes all. And that's what we do. Like, we would just be boxing, like the whole neighborhood.
Damn,
we
okay.
Boxing, little kids, man. Like, we talking about everybody from 1st grade all the way like 5th, 6th grade. We all out there boxing. So I got into fighting real early, and then I had a step uncle that was real big into martial arts, that did jujitsu and ninjutsu.
Okay.
So he started training me some stuff, and I don't know, it was just always physical. I never really actually got into a dojo, but I trained with people that trained and would always, like, when I was growing up, I was like always fighting. So I feel like that's the best training, when the bullets are really real.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
When they're really firing. But yeah, so I was always around gyms, training, never went serious and got in the ring, but always trained, always ran around people, and you know, always ready to fight, dumb type stuff, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So yeah, I was always into it, man. I always grew up, my dad every night, boxing. That's all the dude watch. Boxing late at night, especially like Friday night fights and stuff like that.
Right.
Boxing. In the 80s, boxing was so big. So it's like, and you know, be a Mexican in the Mexican neighborhoods, bro, like, this boxing is the thing. Like, that's what we did, especially back then. That's what we did, and still to this day, like, it's boxing. Like, let's box. You know what I mean? So yeah, it was always a natural. My whole family. My uncle Nicho, he actually was an amateur champion, and he went pro for a quick minute, but he had arthritis and stuff went bad. But yeah, my cousin, his son was going into the Junior Olympics. He was training them. He used to post videos all the time. So like, it's a lot in my family. People that some that took it serious, but even the ones that didn't take it serious, we all trained.
You still did it. You still
yeah. Like family reunions, it'd be crazy. It'd be family reunions, and it'd be like big circles, and all of us, the cousins, older and younger, we out there bare knuckle, like really hitting each other, like. Now my baby mom was the first time I took her out there. She was tripping. She was like, "What is going on?" Like it's fine. Don't worry about it.
Family BBQ, baby. It's a family BBQ.
Like, damn, are you guys really fighting? No, but we're really hitting each other. But no, we're not fighting.
Oh man, the 80s were the greatest, man. You had boxing. That's why like, martial arts was like at its peak. That's what bodybuilding was in, dude. It was such a good, easy time.
Yeah, I'm saying like out west, man, it hit very, very early. Like it was always because Bruce Lee was big. And he was out west. Yeah. And so the whole mixed martial arts started very early out there. Everybody was getting into training different styles, not just one. You know what I mean? Right. Where now that's kind of the thing. Back then it was more people were like one discipline. Yes. That was it. And then, they didn't like Bruce Lee because he was mixing everything. It's like, I think he was an innovator. I think he saw before everybody else did, like, yeah, no. Because if you use this and this, then you might be able to beat that. Right. You know what I mean? So if you implement this, now you can learn how not to let that beat that.
Right. Yeah. He's plugging and playing with the different equation of all the different styles.
Bruce Lee, man. I'm telling you that. At the end of the day, biggest influence, Bruce Lee. I still to this day think, like, the man was a legend. He's before his time. You know what I mean? Like, it's a shame that he passed away. Because, I mean, he would still be alive right now. You can just imagine the gems. By now, dude was so intelligent at that time to think 30, 40 years later. Right. You see where we're at now and how things have evolved? Yes. I guarantee you he'd have had somebody in the UFC a champion. Mm-hmm. I guarantee. I would.
Or made plenty more movies in Hollywood.
I wouldn't doubt it for a second.
Or something. Shoot, one of the two.
So what do you, James?
For me joining MMA, joining martial art, or just joining? Just in general. Shoot, I did karate when I was younger. My parents made me do karate when I was younger. And then I got into wrestling when I was in school. So, I don't know. Why? I don't know. I remember one day just watching it with my cousin, watching MMA, and I was watching a GSP fight. And I was like, he's like, you should try that stuff. I was like, oh man, I'm not doing that. Getting kicked in the leg, all that. I was like, nah, bro. Like I'm cool. Like I was like a real like honest tough guy. I was like, I'm good, but I'm not that like. I was like, dude, I couldn't take one of those leg kicks or head kicks. I was like, nah, I'm cool. So I remember hitting up my friends one day, and I was working out, and I was like, what y'all doing? And they're like, shoot, we're about to go train. What y'all training for? Y'all don't do nothing. Y'all don't work out with me. What y'all training for? We're training MMA and stuff. I was like, oh, sweet. Well, can I come down and help with like the conditioning and wrestling and stuff? They're like, yeah. So my boys pick me up. We go there, and I loved it. I loved like the atmosphere and like how the workouts went and everything. And I was like, oh, this is fun. Next thing you know, they throw me some gloves. Like, all right, we're gonna start sparring now. Sparring. I'm like, well, I don't even know what I'm doing. So I just wrestled pretty much. I didn't know anything. I knew what GSP used to do from watching him. Take him down, get him when they're on the ground. That's literally all I do. I swear to God, I was not going in there. Like, of course I do like certain things like karate, new kicks and stuff, but like to use it in like in an actual and like be like when the bullets are real. Don't know like I don't know the certain setup to get to that strike. So I was just like, ooh, take them down and then just kind of lay on them and just beat them up and stuff a little bit. So from there people were just like, yeah, you should try to do this and stuff. Like, and then it was like a year later, I believe, I had my first amateur fight at where was it? It was at the Elyria Mall.
Oh
We
yeah.
used to have them out there.
Yeah, like
You
it was like
remember that?
it was like 5 Star or something like that. Yeah.
The Allen Iverson store or something like that.
It was at Midway Mall.
Yeah.
Midway, yeah,
Yeah.
Midway
Yeah.
Mall, yeah. They had like
Way back.
way back, bro. Way back. Those were like the best fights, though, man. You had like everybody from the mall would come there just to watch those because it was like a new thing. It was like everybody in the shopping mall would like literally go to and buy a ticket. It was like the most amazing thing. I remember after my one fight, walking out of cage, all the kids come up to me, wanted my autograph, take a picture. It just like
you feel like a rock star.
You feel like a rock star.
Yeah.
Bro. It's that feeling. Like I didn't care about the girls at the time. It was the kids that were like, the kids think I'm cool. That's what matters the most, you know. Like that was a cool feeling.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's what made me start. And then also, growing up, I like Power Rangers and stuff like that. So I always was like, yeah, I wanna learn to watch
Superhero.
Yeah, I wanna be I'm
Actual
superhero. I'm an actual superhero now. So shoot, I always liked it from that aspect and everything, but. It was mainly my friends that basically, if it wasn't for me hitting my friends up that day, man, what y'all doing? I probably wouldn't have gotten into it on my own like that. Just been like, hey, I'm going to go join a gym. I would just stay working out, doing what I was doing, and then just gone from there. But yeah.
It's funny hearing that beginning. Cause I remember one day when you had just started training with us, and I remember you threw some fancy ass like kick, and like you landed it, and I remember like in my head I was like, this motherfucker. and I remember looking like over at John, and you know that meme where they kind of like look back and they kind of give like the head nod. Yeah. I look back and John's like, I was like, okay, and I just started like having it up and going on it.
Hey, I had to. I was like, it was you, Dave, Nick Brashear, Nick Dow, and Lynn Lorne. Like, out of that group, like, me and Lauren were like the smallest. I had to do something. Like, because Dave was already like karate master at that point. So it was like, dang, I had to like really like mix up my striking and wrestle with him. Then with you, I had to really just like get lucky because you're just big. And then Nick Brashear, it just had to move, just had to hit and move. But if he hit you, he was just so big.
I joke about that. I'm like you saw the kick coming,
right?
But it was like a log that like just like came off, and it was just like this here, and you're like, I see it, and then it's just like bam, and you go like flying across, and you're like, God, that fucking hurt,
right?
You're like, I saw it coming,
I saw it coming, dude. Like,
yeah,
shit.
How did I not get away from that?
Yeah, I do. We joke about that all the time.
Yeah,
still.
That was back. That was the intense days. Freaking. Then the Saturdays he'd have us come up there. We'd have to do sparring. Then we'd have to sometimes go out and hit the tire or run. And bro, gosh, yeah.
Well, that's why you're a fitness influencer now.
Yeah, sure. Try to be. So,
Tell me a little bit about that.
I try to motivate, guys that are, they sometimes get to an age like 30s, mid 30s, and then like they kind of fall out and stuff. They be like, oh, I lost the testosterone, I lost the mojo and stuff like that. And I just try to, give tips and workouts to where it's like, you don't have to be like a super bodybuilder or stuff like that to, get the physique you want or lift heavy all the time. So I try to do like, workouts over the age 30, 35, within that range to where, men can still hit that, natural physique. Because that's what everyone wants, that hybrid physique now, that, mix between cardio and heavy lifting. Mm-hmm. And stuff. So, I try to offer that, that side of aspect of it to people that, when I do my live streams and stuff that come on. So.
Why hit against upper 30-year-olds?
Oh, man.
I'm just saying.
Advice number one, stop letting these people on social media make you believe your testosterone is low.
Right. That's right.
That's
rule number one.
Stop letting these people tell you how you feel. You know what I'm saying? Adjust your own self.
Right. But yeah, pretty much, just, when I do my live streams on TikTok, that's just mostly the crowd I, generate and draw from. So, I just, keep it basic and stuff. You know, they ask, you know, how to get the, you know, the natural physique and stuff. So, pretty much that's what that is and stuff when it comes to that for fitness. I feel like a lot of people try to do fitness influencing, but the fitness influencers that do it, they're not doing it naturally. Like you have a lot of ones that are doing the was it TRTs or testosterones and everything and stuff like that.
Yeah.
You know, and I feel like there, you know, there's a crowd for that, but then most of the people that I run across, they want more of the natural because they're just like, I don't like needles or, you know, I don't want to take none of that stuff to begin with and stuff. So it's just like, you know what, all right, I got you. And then I just started off from that pretty much. Okay. I should probably get like an actual like certificate or something in it. But like being around people so long and like being within the gym and within the culture so long,
you get a pretty good idea.
You get a good idea. Yeah, you get a good idea. And at the same time, it's not like I'm giving them dietitian like breakdown like this is what you should eat and stuff. I'm just like, oh, this, you know, oh, you wanna get, you know, more of a bigger arm, like you more of a, you know, your arms a little bit more bigger, or you want to get, you know, more of a chest or something like that. Here's the workouts I use and stuff, you know, and these are workouts that are going to really kill your body, and these are something that you can repeat. And if you do them daily, every day, you're going to see, you know, a transformation within a month or so. So, you know,
no, that's
simple.
that.
Yeah,
I like that.
It's simple.
Okay. All right. So now I've brought you guys aboard.
Right.
Almost 2 years now.
Right.
So, what do you think's harder, fighting or acting?
Ooh. Oh, damn, that's a. Dang, they both have their. Dang, that's a good question. You know, this is a question Conor McGregor got asked when he was doing the Roadhouse, and then they were like, "What's harder, training for a fight or acting?" And he's like, you know, he said acting was harder than training for a fight for Khabib, but I can see where. Okay, so like. Okay, so I remember the one day we were filming outside. Our first time we were filming, and we were out late. Mm-hmm. It was starting to get cold. And there's certain aspects of it to where you're just like, I can see where this can be a little bit more, not harder, but I can see where it could be a little bit more, okay, this is where part of the job would be more difficult. Like, every job has a part where it's difficult and stuff. I love fighting, but I've always said it from the beginning, fighting was the gateway for me to do other things and stuff. So like, even if in another multiverse universe we're talking about James Pfeiffer, I become UFC top 10, top 15, top 20. I'm using that somehow to get some TV time for, like, I'm trying to switch out of fighting. I like fighting, but I'm not trying to do it forever. I'm trying to get out of there to like get over here into like Broadway or maybe acting or maybe modeling or something like that, because I do understand. Like, and I say this, and you can say we're blessed to walk out of the sport not broke. We're not broke.
Yeah. And
we're not broken, because a lot of guys we know come out there, you know, they're just punch drunk. Or they made it to a level to where, you know, they made it to the UFC. But now now your lifestyle is around that to where now you got to maintain that to where you can't afford to just take a step back and be like, oh, I can just go back and work a normal job. No, you've adjusted your lifestyle as a UFC fighter. So now you can't take that step back and be like, oh, I can just go work, you know, 40 hours at a plant and I'll be good. No, you ain't going to maintain that. You've now got to maintain that fighting lifestyle to where now you've got to fight to where you're like a Michael Chandler age, or, you know, 40, 41, 42, where you're like, So I like the fact that everything happens for a reason, you know, and I like the fact that when I joined MMA and everything, it gave me a ground foundation. It gave me a strong mentality. It gave me some guidance. It gave me a good group of people that I got to meet. Brotherhoods were formed and everything. To where now we're able to work on the things we were talking about back then, where we were talking about, hey, I'm gonna get an act. You want to act?
Yeah.
I want to do that too, bro. We were talking about certain things,
Right? Yeah.
and now we're able to carry on and do that. Now, what, 12 years later? So, but as far as which one is harder, I think they both have their own aspect. But honestly, anytime you're going to get into a cage and fight another guy that's training to fight you too,
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
That's hard.
That's a whole.
That's a whole. You know what I mean? Like the only thing I can compare that to, like the training, the lifestyle, and how we were talking about earlier back the first segment when you're like cutting people off. The only other profession I can compare that to is special forces, Navy SEAL, people like that. Those are the only other active military, like fighters, like not just I sit behind the desk or I type or I just no fighters in the field, because you hear a lot of their stories and they're the same way. They're like, I have to cut that off. I have to put up barriers, and that's kind of like how it was when we were in fight camp. Right. You have to put up barriers. You have to cut certain people off, cut certain things off, take enjoyment out of things, because like when we were out the one night and that fight came up, like when I was talking about, we're like, I shouldn't be here right now. I didn't even feel comfortable having a few drinks, because in my head I'm thinking, we have these few drinks right now. If something happens, I'm no good to you right now. If I'm in a mind state to where I can't, what I mean? And he don't really drink like that, like a whole lot like that anyway. So if he's already good, but yet if I'm no help to him as a brother, then what? And I got an event coming up and everything, and I know my opponent's probably not out doing this right now. Then I shouldn't be here right now. And that's the same mindset I feel like a lot of Navy SEALs, Special Forces, Marines, military servicemen, they put themselves in, and you'll hear them. They'll be like, I have to cut certain things off because you can't get too comfortable, because then it's kind of like a weakness in a way. So that's the only thing I can compare when it comes to those. But with acting and fighting, there's parts of acting where you're just like, dang, this can be tough. Like it can be tough because you want to get the lines down right with the emotion, with the facial expression. Right. So like certain aspects of it, you're just like, man, did I do that right? But the one thing I do like about it though is that with so many takes we do, you're able, by the time the third, fourth take comes around, you're actually able to develop like, okay, this is what works better for me. Yeah. And then that didn't work. It's not like, so like with fighting, it's like, oh, I made a mistake. It cost me. It's like, oh, I made a mistake. I can kind of, it's more like a nervous fit, like just like, you're on set and I'm getting used to how you act and how to vibe off you, and I'm getting used to how to vibe off you and everything, and to make it form together, to give it actual true art, on-screen art and everything, to where fighting is like more of a fight art, it's a flow. So it's like, which one's harder? It depends on your craft and everything. I would, because I used to be like, oh no, fighting's, hard, but they both have their aspect to where you're like, it can be difficult either way and stuff. And we ain't even gotten to like, to where we got to do our own stunts and stuff. We haven't even gotten to that where we're going to have to run and jump off, possibly jump off and stuff and do some stuff where I'm like, all right, I'm going to have you jump into this water right here now. It's deep, and I'm like, oh, bro. Oh. This is that part of the job, bro. That's that part of the job, bro. I was thinking.
I was born on the projects. I cannot swim.
Right. So,
yeah. But I asked, obviously, I know the difficulties of fighting and so on, but like you guys both do very well. Like you guys did very well acting. So it was like,
thank you.
You guys just clicked tonight. It was like it was just natural. So that's why I'm asking.
Oh, thanks, bro. I appreciate that. I really do.
You know that.
I mean,
you know that.
Until
you hit that bullshit line where I'm like, you read the script and you're like, no, bro, the script reads me. And I'm like, get that shit. I'm like, get that shit out of here. I'm like,
Tropic
get that shit out of here.
He's like, here's the script. I was like, I'll read the script. He looked at me like, what?
I was like, no. I'm like, go over there for 5 minutes.
Yeah, go breathe.
Right.
Go look this over real quick before you come back.
that was yeah. But it's like I really do like, cause you'll send me the script and it's like I'll read over and stuff and I'll be like, all right, I know in my head I want to go over this. And then we'll get on set and you'll be like, did you read the script? I was like, nah, I always script. The script really read, like, but I say that funny, but I because I'll go over it out in my head. I'm like, all right. And like you said, you always say, like, what it says is just the base. If you can customize it,
yes,
and do what you need to improv it. And I'm like, no.
Which,
see, this ain't gonna work. I'm gonna have to do this.
Yeah. Which I found by like socializing with other people. Obviously, I'm not in that field.
Right.
There's people that are like hardcore about that, and obviously we're all just kind of beginning and kind of lifting each other up with that. But like I've talked to some people, and I'm like that because I said this at the last mixer that we went to, and we were talking about like script writing and how do you direct and how do you do this, and I was like, listen, I write, I get a vision, I get an idea, I write it of like people I have like in mind. I go and then I give them the script, and I then allow them to become like that person and say how they would want to say it. And the one guy was like, no, how it's in the papers, how like it has to be said. And I was like, no, because like I can't speak the way that you speak. I can't speak the way that you speak. You know, like we're gonna say things differently. We're gonna do different mannerisms and stuff like that. That's why I say I'm like this is a blueprint. Just so you know, this is the story. This is how this is A to Z. Everything else in between, we can fix this. And manipulate it. And I may have something in my head where I'm like, I think this is how it should be done. But then you do it, and I'm like, no, fuck my version, dude. Like, let's go with your version. Like, you killed that. Like, let's go with that. I think it has to have that fluidity to it to be able to go with it. That's why I'm asking that question. Again, like you guys came on set, you killed it, and then like second pitch around, you kill it again. So. I figured I'd have fun asking that question.
Yeah. When he asked me about, he's like, "You want to be in the movie?" I was like, "Yeah, I don't like, you know,
like why not?" Like,
when you know what I'm saying, not that long ago, but when I was younger, you know what I mean. I actually was an entertainer. I did, I was a rapper. I did hip hop. I did shows in Cleveland, Columbus, and stuff like that. So I've been on stage. When I was a kid, I started in church doing solos and stuff like that. So stage has never been a problem for me. And like I was telling him, he was like, "Oh, you want to act?" And I'm like, "Bro, I've been preparing for this my whole life. I never like in my mind was like, yeah, I want to be an actor. But when I really thought about it, I'm like, I know I'm sure I'm gonna offend some actors out there, but like I don't really think it's hard because in my life experience, I told you I used to get in a lot of trouble, like a lot of trouble. So I grew up in my mind. I would tell myself like, all right, the only way you can really make people believe your lie is if you believe it yourself, right?
Right.
So if I was in front of the police or some detective's office and they're asking me all these questions, in my mind, I'm not thinking about lying to them. I am literally acting like an actor, and in my mind, I'm becoming the person I'm trying to tell them that I am. Right? So in my mind, I'm not thinking about what I did or what I'm trying to hide. I'm thinking about what would a person who didn't do anything, who really was innocent, like, what would that person be saying? What would that person be feeling? Like, I would take myself like, okay, in the situations where I have been accused and I didn't actually do it, then I would take myself back into those moments. Like, and then it would be easier for me to just manipulate whoever was in front of me because, like, you don't really know what's in my head. You only know what I'm giving you, right? And this is what we talked about earlier. Where like you look in the mirror and you learn not to lie to yourself, because what you realize when you look in the mirror and you tell a lie, you realize that your whole body is a lie.
Yeah.
Right.
It isn't just your words.
Yeah, right.
Your expression, your mannerism, your eyes, your face, the muscles in your face, they give it away. Right? So the only way not to give that away, in my mind, what I think is the only way not to give that away is to become that character. So I've been doing that since I was young. So when he was like, act, I was like, bro, I actually think I would be a great actor no matter what movie you would put me in, because ever since I was a young kid, I've always had, well, you know, at one point, some people would be like, that's a bad thing. But like, I've always had this mind state of being able to be like, all right, how is the best way to attack this situation? To me, acting was no different. It's like, especially when you were like, oh, this is what we're gonna do. I'm like, bro, I'm from the projects. This isn't even this isn't even acting. Yeah, I was like, this isn't even acting, bro. Like, what are you talking about? Like, this is like, no, this isn't acting. But okay,
right,
let's go ahead and do it.
I can play around a little bit.
Yeah, we can go ahead and fuck around a little bit. You know what I'm saying? But like, but I mean, seriously, at the end of the day, I feel like I would be a great actor in anything just because I don't think it's, to me, I don't know about other people, but to me, in my mind, it's not lost on me that there isn't a character that you can come up with that I can't relate to, because I feel like everybody has a million emotions built in them, right? Mm-hmm. We've all loved, we've all lost, we've all won, you know what I'm saying? Like, I think we've all been in moments where we felt like a nobody, where we felt like we were on top of the world. Like, I feel like if you're a real person, there's so many different avenues that you've lived your life in.
Yep. Any
character that you give, you just have to be like, well, I mean, there's probably a point in your life where you kind of felt like that anyway.
Right. It's like pulling like that record off the shelf.
Yeah.
You know what? We're gonna play this today.
Yeah,
I'm
just pulling that memory.
I'm gonna pull this here.
Yes, I'm pulling that memory, and when I pull that memory, I'm pulling the emotion. I'm pulling the setting. I'm trying to think of, when we're doing the scene, how would I really be feeling right now?
Right.
Like based off of my actual life, right? Like, how would I be really feeling? And I think at the end of the day, that makes it come across as more genuine. So I'm not reaching for something that I'm not familiar with.
Right. The falsehood of what you're trying to portray is not coming out because you're tapping into said thing of like, like exactly. if that was this person, this is what I'd be doing right now. Right, you know what I'm saying? And that's what I'm saying. Like I can put some words on paper, but I can't tap in to that.
That's like coaching. That's what I think. The same thing. Like, look, I'm gonna give you the play. This is what we want to accomplish. Right. At the end of the day, the end result is what we're trying to get to, and this is the way you do it. But once you figure out how to do it the right way, then go ahead and put your little spin on it. Do whatever you want to do to, you know what I mean? So I feel like that's with anything. I just take the fundamentals of what you're telling me to do, and then I start thinking like, all right, in all my experience, the emotion of the moment, how would it really go? Right? Because like you said, you're writing a screenplay or whatever, right? But I feel like some things can get lost in translation if you've never experienced it. You don't know, like you think you know, maybe you experienced one side of it, but you don't really know, right? So why put somebody in a box when you could be like, all right, do what you do. And then if it comes out, you're like, oh yeah, no, that's great. Definitely, I'm not going to put you in a box because of what you're doing is coming across so much more genuine than what I could have ever anticipated. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. So yeah, I've gotten myself out of so many things in my life. I swear to God, I've gotten out of myself out of so many things in my life. I feel like I've been acting for forever. Forever. Like I feel like, listen. All jokes aside. Just like with anything that we talked about, my experience with fighting, I have beat guys up that were trained, right? So like the training is only one aspect, right? When the bullets start firing for real, that's when you find out what type of person you are. Can you still think clearly and do the kicks and punches that you're supposed to do, or when everything starts going crazy, do you just do like so many people and just start grabbing and freezing up and you don't really know what you're doing, right?
Right, yeah. So
acting, I feel it's the same thing. When the camera comes on, what better training is there than for me to be sitting in front of a detective? My life is on the line. Like literally, I might do years. Like I've been in these situations. Like I might do years if I don't figure out a way to get this dude to at least doubt himself a little bit and not get me. Right? How can I do that? So it's like, if I can do that, man, press record.
Press record.
Bro, listen, because when the pressure's really on, right? When the pressure's like, I feel like there's no more pressure than that. That's life or death. That's real shit. Like that's like the moment is now.
Right.
I either can be really good at this and get these motherfuckers to believe me, or get them to be confused enough to be like, you know, we don't have shadow of a doubt. Whatever. Like, hey, this is it.
This is it.
This is it. This is it. I don't get to rewind. I don't get to be like, hold on, man, let me go use the bathroom real quick. Like, no, because the cops are gonna pick up on that. Like, oh no. You gotta use the bathroom? No, you stay right here.
Stay right
here. You know
here.
what I'm saying? So it's like being in those experiences, I feel like that heightened experience made it to where, like, yeah, bro, when he told me act, I was like, yeah, man, give me the script. Give me the script. I bet you I can make you believe I am whoever the hell you put on that piece of I bet you I can get you to believe that. I promise you. Plus, I've been all over the country too. You know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
I've had such life experience. I've been everywhere. I've hung out with so many different types of people and have done so many different things that I feel like, I can, when it comes to acting, I can do it. You want me to be a romantic? You want me to be a killer? You want me to be a detective? You want me I feel like I can do it all. Like,
say no more.
Whatever.
Say no more. You got it.
Right,
James,
so,
you're out, man. You're out.
Again, just press play. You don't even have to give me a script. Just tell me what, like you said, what's the feel?
Yeah.
What are we trying to get across right here? What do we want this scene to actually feel like? What do we want the viewer to feel like when this scene is over and we cut to the next one? If you just tell me that feel, I'm like, yeah, I got it. Don't even worry about it.
Got it.
I got it. Don't even worry about it.
So why you hold it on, man? You keep cutting us a soundtrack right now for the story here.
Yeah.
Now you're telling me that you have experience.
Listen. For real, like he saw it one day. We was at the bar back in Sandusky. You know what I'm saying? And I didn't even have to prompt it. It's like I'm in there and I see people from back in the day when I was rapping and doing my music and everything, and you know, just like anything with the fight game, you have a culture. It's the same faces. Everybody's involved.
Yeah.
So everybody remembers who was involved in those times, right? When we walk in the bar, and there's a group of people there that used to rap when I rapped, when we were all doing our thing. And it's like, man, you don't know who you're hanging out with, Jay. You don't know who you're hanging out with. I mean, this dude right here, there was everybody else, and then there was this motherfucker right here. Like, at one point when I was rapping in my neighborhood, you know what I'm saying, when I was doing my thing when I was younger, nobody even wanted to rap me. I got to a point where, like, it was just too, I felt like, for me at that time, I was vibing like it's too easy for me. Like, nobody wanted, I would go to different cities, Cleveland, Columbus, Cincinnati, when we'd be in the clubs and people would start rapping, and I would just jump in. And I'm just like, I just had this confidence, like, nobody can beat me. And he saw it, they was like, man, this dude is the best rapper in Sandusky. So, yeah, entertaining ain't nothing. Making some music, it's nothing, bro. I don't know. I feel I'm the type of person, like, if we really want to do something, let's do it. Like, that's how I am. I'm just like, I kind of just go with the flow. I try not to give too much energy to anything and get myself caught. I move cautiously nowadays, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's kind of free flowing until to get that one thing that's like, all right, we'll shift it here, and I'll come back. I just kind of
always ready to go where I need to go.
Yeah.
I feel like, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like I'm on a weird journey in my life.
It's very Bruce Lee, like, you know, like water, you know?
Exactly. Because I feel like I'm different, bro. Like, most people at 45 years old, you know, pop belly, dad bod, settled down, everything's over with or whatever, you know what I mean? And my life is kind of done the exactly opposite of that. So it's like, I'm just kind of finding my way, and I'm not trying to be a part of whatever stereotype.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, I try not to get caught up in that, because it's like, look, respectfully, all those stereotypes work for an average person. I feel like I'm not average. Like, I don't feel like anything about me is average, so I don't really worry about all that. Like, press play. Let's go. Some people like, oh, I remember like a couple months ago, my dude was like, his dad was like, oh yeah, you used to rap me something like, yeah, everybody should give it up after a while, you gotta give all that up. And I took that as a challenge. So when the beat came on, I started rapping, and he looked at me and was like, well, maybe you can still do it. I gave up my dreams to raise my kids, you know what I'm saying? And at the end of the day, I know if I given the same chance, I would do it again. I'm perfectly fine with it. But it doesn't mean that given the challenge that I wouldn't be like, I don't care who it is. Honestly, I really don't care who it is. You could be famous. I did shows with famous people, you know what I mean? Like, yeah. You could be the best rapper in the game right now, and I wouldn't care. I'll battle you even if I lose. I don't care. Like, let's go. Let's rap right now.
I love that. Yeah.
I don't care. I'm not like LeBron where he's like, I don't want to go in the dunk contest because it might mess up my it might mess up my image. Like, I don't give a fuck if I lose. If I lose, whatever. I'm going. I'm just saying because that's a new mentality, right? Because that's the new mentality with social media. Everybody's always so worried about their image. Mm-hmm. Like, well, if I take a loss, then I can't continue to go on with this image right here. Well, again, that's that box what I'm talking about, where I don't like to put myself in a box. Right. Like, you know what I mean? It's like, hey, look, it is what it is. I'm free flowing, bro. If I feel it and it feels good, I'm gonna run with it.
Well, so it's so easy to get to the edge of the cliff and stop and just admire the view and not take that jump
and not jump
and not jump. I'm like standing within the fight realm. I mean, there's no better example than Justin Gaethje right now. Like 3-4 fights ago, that dude was knocked out cold. by Holloway, land on the campus. Cold. And you fast forward Sunday night, he's Mr. America. Like, he's all over the place. Big won the bout, this and that. And it's like, what if he stopped at that point in time? He wouldn't be where he was at now. But
if he stopped, it was probably because of what everybody else was telling him.
Yeah.
It wasn't because of what he was feeling. Mm-hmm. Obviously, because now he's still back. And I'm sure there's plenty of people that were telling him, bro, you're getting too old, bro. Like, what are you doing? What are you doing? Like, don't worry about it. Yeah. Let that man live his life.
Let me do me.
Yeah, like, you know what I mean?
I'll tell you when it's time.
You're right. Exactly. And if I do go out on my shield, who are you to tell me that shouldn't have been my journey?
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, if that's what I wanted, It's funny. Nowadays, everybody's like, don't judge me, let me be me. Then as soon as somebody does something, the first thing they do is judge.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
Yeah. Like, come on, bro, which way do you want it?
Right. Like, and that, dude, I appreciate that mindset, like that view, because that's what I tell my buddy, is I'm like, I never want to be one of those individuals that's like, I could have, or I should have, or I want to, or ever fast forward in time and have that regret of like, I should have done this. It's like, no, fuck that. Like, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna try my way, and I'm either gonna succeed or I'm gonna fail. Right. Same thing with the podcast, the movies, whatever. I'm like, yeah, I have aspirations, but if I don't hit that level, okay, I can at least be like, you know what, I tried. I did it. I tried. Okay, cool. Right. Close the book on that chapter. I'm on to the next chapter, on to the next thing, or anything in general.
Right, because sometimes you shoot for the stars, you end up landing on the moon anyway.
Right, exactly. So, or something else takes off, or something else catches it, and you're like, I thought I was going to do this, but this led me to this thing over here, which now is elevated.
Right, I'm still on top.
Right.
You know what I mean? I'm still good. I'm on top. You know what I mean? Like, when you're young, you like, oh, I'm going to do this for life. And it's like, people got to learn, like, bro, it's okay to change. It's you don't have to be, just because 3 weeks ago you said this is what I'm gonna do. You gotta be okay with, like, remember that you're just a ball of energy, right? So whenever you feel your energy shifts, let it shift.
Yeah, let it shift. Like you said, maybe I want to do that thing, but I got kids or I had a job or this took priority. This took priority. This is still here,
right?
Whether it's 3 years, 5 years, or 10 years down the road, you can be like, okay, I'm now in a position where I can attack this thing now.
I can really do it.
And then go for it. And then go for it.
And I feel like the people that are most successful are the people that really believe in themselves. It's not that you're believing in what everybody's hyping you up to do. It's what you believed in yourself. I mean, there's plenty of people, like you said, Gagey is a perfect example right now. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's plenty of people, oh, you're too old, you shouldn't be doing that. But you know what? He wants it.
Right.
You know what I mean? At the end of the day, he wants it. And you know how bad you want it. Nobody else can really tell you that or vibe with that because they can't get inside your head. So,
right.
you know, just do your thing, man, and let the chips fall where they fall. That's how I look at it. Do your thing, let the chips fall where they fall. I'll be perfectly fine because I do, unlike other people, I do love and respect myself. So I'm going to be fine. Like, whatever, you know what I mean? I gave it a shot.
Yeah.
You know?
I love that.
If I failed, guess what? If I don't do it, I failed anyway. So what is it?
Exactly.
Right, yeah.
What does it matter?
It don't matter.
I used to be like
Exactly.
that with girls when I was younger. Like, yeah, I'm going to holler at her. Yeah, so what? If she says no, so what? If I don't say nothing, the answer's no anyway.
Yeah,
so
no,
what does
yeah,
it matter
right.
if she says no?
Go out, take a shot. No, okay, on to the next one.
What happened was they wasn't saying no. Yeah. I would have never found that out if I wouldn't have said something. You know what I mean? I was just saying. You never know.
All right, so how we end every podcast, because I see this motherfucker over here yawning.
Right, because I got this I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah.
I gotta
look, chat,
I gotta let this one.
Hey, look,
this is my second
I ain't
one.
been saying nothing because I gotta go to the bathroom so bad. Y'all been seeing me twitching the seat. I was talking to the first half. I just let them
All
play.
right, let's wrap it up. We'll wrap it up real quick. All right, so usually we end every episode with me asking you guys, what is the biggest UvsU hurdle that you have to overcome now, or if there's anything like in your life specific you can think of that you had to overcome to lead to the version that you guys are now today?
For me, mine's gonna be actually interesting because me being so I'm a single father. My daughter, she's 14 years old now. I got full custody of her.
Okay.
I think my biggest hurdle in life really was like realistically, like, and I got to think about this when you asked it beforehand, was there was a time period where I was with someone for 7 years, and it was kind of like how you like you're like not the same because you were longer, but like you're used to like a structure and used to being with that person, used to having that person pick up where you don't meet at or where you left off at, kind of sort of like having that two coming there. So I found out when after the breakup stuff, being actual full-time father with like not as much help all the time, like making that transition to like, you know, finding a spot, making, you know, a home, making sure she's, you know, in a comfortable mindset and everything, and making sure that her life and everything is going good for her within the transition itself. I think that was my biggest me versus you versus you, my moment, because I feel up to that time I was actually more reliant on another person. It was easier for me to rely on other people and stuff like that. So once that got taken away, I had to really start actually manning up and becoming a man and be like, all right, you really got to figure this out now, because you really got, you know, another human being's life that relies on you. And, you know, I did not to say that, you know, beforehand, like, I didn't do my part, but there was things I could have done better to, you know, make sure, you know, certain situations were more smooth and stuff. But for the most part, I think that was the time period in my life where I was trying to go from being a boy to a man. I think that was when I actually became from boy to man. I started seeing stuff differently. So that was for me.
Okay. All right. What about like right now?
Right now, honestly, you know what? Right now, if it's anything, it's still trying to find that balance of life after fighting. I think that's what it, like, I think I slowly started to find it, but right now it's that, that knowing of like, you know, the fight life's over. So finding that next, the next project, the next, you know, opportunity, the next job, you know, everyone has a different word for it. The next hobby. Because for years, you know, you're so used to like waking up, train, go home, eat, Maybe you do something, maybe you do this, maybe you do that. Who knows, but then you're back at the gym or back at work. So like for me right now, I'd say if anything is finding that next, hobby. But I feel like I found it realistically with this. But I think with acting, but here's another thing. I think the difference between acting and fighting, what we got going on, like just, is that with fighting, it's like it's constant. You train, you come home, you can always find something to improve. With acting, we do a project, then it's, you got that downtime. Then in between, you're either perfecting your craft in different ways. So I think it's that in between that downtime, you're finding that perfecting your craft and stuff. So that's what I'm trying to transition from. Is before it was like with fighting, you knew training, you ate right, you ran, you did this, you did this. With acting, it's like, all right, we're focused on a project, but then after that project, it's just like, now we just wait for the next one. It's kind of a slowed down pace to where I'm trying to get used to that, that style of pace. So I think that's right now my thing right now is just trying to find that different change of pace from going from fighter to now where we're doing like, smaller projects of acting and, podcasts and, streaming and stuff like that to where it's a little bit more slowed down. But that's my you versus you moment. I think it would be right for right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Appreciate that.
Thank you, brother. Thank you.
What's your brother?
Me, it really, honestly, I'm in the midst of mines right now. Like I said earlier, my life was backwards. It wasn't like, most people, live their youth a certain way. They're out here doing their thing, and then later on they settle down, and all that. Where mine was different. I started right out of high school, went into family mode, raised my kids. And what I found was that I got into this mode where everybody else and how they felt and where they were headed in their life was more important than me, right? Like I was constantly worried about everybody else. And then I woke up one day and realized I'm not satisfied with my life, not because I don't like inspiring people to do better, but that so many people that I tried to pour so much into didn't really care about, didn't really want it, didn't really reciprocate the energy, you know what I mean? So it's like I had to reevaluate myself and really ask myself, like, look, you got to get over this wanting to bring people along thing, right? Like, I don't know how to describe it. It's like almost if I'm successful, but the people around me that I care about aren't, it makes me feel some type of way, right? So I had to learn that, it's okay. It's okay to just do your thing, be what you are, because when I really look at it, I'm like, people are going to go about their own selfish ways no matter what, right?
Right.
So like a lot of the results that I got out of that was like, well, damn, I feel like if I wasn't the type of person that was exceptionally loyal and would pour everything into somebody, if I didn't give you that, I feel like I could have got that same result. You know what I mean?
Right.
So then when I look at that and I'm like, all right, whether I'm pouring everything into you or I'm not pouring everything into you, you're still those people. Like it's clear when I look back at it, like what we talked about earlier, it comes back to your decision, what you're doing, all the influence outside doesn't matter, how you see it, how you feel, right? So knowing that, I look at myself like, bro, why can't you make that connect? Like what like still right now I'm still going through it. Like, why is it that you're so worried about why do you feel so bad and feel like you're leaving somebody behind when you're moving forward? And they're clearly not focused on that and don't really care about that. Mm-hmm. Like me, I have to right now. I'm learning to get over that of like, I don't know if you say being a little more. I don't even want to say cold-hearted, but just more like, look, man, I gotta accept that if you're showing me that you only have so much energy and you only want so much. I gotta stop making myself believe that I can inspire you to have more than that. Right. And that's where I find myself, like, where I've constantly tried to inspire people to do what I see in them instead of what they see in them. Right. So then now I'm at this point later on in my life where I'm like, well, I did that so much for everybody else. And, you know, the times in my life where I did focus on myself, I can look back at those patterns and be like, damn, if I would have kept going, I'd have been all right, because it was already moving. Everything, like, when I would, even like the last big thing, my dream was to be a rapper, to be an entertainer. And like, you know, he talked about going from fighting to acting. I always looked at it like, I'm a rapper, entertainer, I do music, and it would just be easy to transition to be on screen doing something, you know what I mean?
Right.
So I always saw that in the back of my mind, but again, I had to get over when I was doing my music, I stopped and I focused on my kids, because in my mind, I'm like, in order to really make it at anything, you got to really give it everything you got, right? So how can I be there for my kids and be on the road and really trying to amplify my voice over here and be a real father at the same time? I feel like it's impossible. It's like the one's going to be affected, right? So it's like, all right, I'll jump over here. But when I was doing my music, it went from, what I noticed was the moment that I got serious about it and I like really started like challenging myself and challenging other people and really trying to see where I was at with it. When I did that, all of a sudden, all these doors started opening up, all these opportunities started coming my direction, and I started to realize at that moment, like, all right, I had some stuff going on in my life. I had got invited. I was working with the promoter for some people out there will know, hip hop heads will know who the Lox is, right? Me and my dude that I did music with, we were involved with the Lox's promoter. And so we did shows with Jadakiss, Sheik Luch, and Styles P, you know what I mean? So we did those major shows, and their promoter, Putty, was like, look, man, everywhere we go, like, you guys got a good vibe. Like, you actually, like, I was consistently told by people that were in the industry, like, look, bro, you got it. Like, whatever it is, you got it. Like, you're good. You guys just keep doing what you're doing. Keep grinding. Keep making music. It's going to happen for you. People are paying attention. And we started getting, like, emails, you know, back then when Facebook first started, and they had Reverb Nation and all that. And we were all over the platforms, and we were getting invited to summer jams in Miami and California, Texas, and New York and stuff. So it was headed that way. So when the guy had invited me on a tour, he's like, look, we're going to go to the East Coast tour. We're going to hit all these cities on the East Coast. He was like, my management team won't let me pay for you to come along. He was like, but if you guys, any city you make it to, any venue we play, anywhere we're at, it doesn't matter, stadium or bar, wherever we're at, if you can make it and you there, you on stage for us. We're going to let you open up. So me, hustler mentality, I got caught up because I went one way trying to make a move, get caught up with the boys on the next way. And I was in a transition in my life where I was like, all right, look, either you're going to dive all the way in this way, or you're going to be the family man, right? And at the end of the day, when I looked into my kids' eyes, I'm like, I'm not built like that. I couldn't do my own thing and worry about whether I was leaving them to the wayside, right? Mm-hmm. So I decided to do that. But now, fast forward all these years later, I'm like, all right, look, I put all my time in. I put all my work in. And for whatever reason, I was blessed with this extra amount of youth, right? Like most people don't think I'm as old as I am. And so I'm like, I don't feel as old as I am either. Like I have this weird, I just feel like I'm in this weird existence. Like every day I look in the mirror and I'm just like, I'm not getting older. It's not making any sense. Like I don't feel any different. I can still do all the things that I could do before. I'm not feeling anything falling off. So I'm like, all right, most people wouldn't start right now, right? But what I gotta understand is, you know, if you know you're unique, you have to believe in that uniqueness, right?
For sure, yeah.
Like, so that's where I'm at right now. I'm in that transition, like you said. Like it's weird that you say that question because that's really where I'm at right now. I'm literally in the middle of recreating myself as you know, I can't even believe I'm saying middle-aged man. Like I'm recreating myself as a middle-aged man that's in a unique situation where I don't have to do things the way that everybody else has done them in the past. I've been blessed with an opportunity to literally blaze my own trail. So that's where I'm at right now. Like, all right, listen, I still to this day, I still have to check myself sometimes because I find myself telling myself, like, don't leave anybody too far behind. Don't, like, in the mentality, just deep in the brain, like, you know what I mean? Like, don't, like, oh, you know, but if I do that, then, you know, how many people would I have to separate from and all this, and do I really want to separate? And so that's where I'm at right now, where I'm like, look, anytime I've ever decided to do something for myself, I haven't failed, right? So it's like, where is this coming from? Right? Like, why am I so worried about being successful and how other people are going to feel about it? Like, why am I so worried about that? I don't understand. Like, I laugh at myself sometimes. Like, bro, what is it? Like, what do you... Trauma. Like, what do you, like, come on, man. Like, you know, you got it. You got it. You good. And I am. I've noticed since, you know, in this new chapter, doing this thing by myself, I noticed that I'm, in only a year, am already way ahead. Like, you know what I mean? Like, everything's going so much better, and it's just like, I don't know why I have that apprehension of feeling like I shouldn't leave people behind. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know why I feel that way. I don't know. They gonna get left behind though, I'm telling you, because I can just keep moving forward. Like I just keep moving forward. But I don't know why the apprehension's there. But that's what I'm dealing with, the you versus you, in the aspect of knowing that I am the type of person that cares a lot about other people, and I've always had the mentality of you know, even when I was a kid, somebody was getting bullied, I was always the person like, hey, what do you, like, man, nah, fight me then. You know what I mean? Like, so it's just in my nature, but I know that now I have to learn to calm that down, because it really didn't get me anywhere, honestly. It really didn't, like, I feel good that I know I'm a good person and I look out for people, but that like at a deeper level, I didn't really get any satisfaction. I got nothing but pain out of that. It's like people it'd be different if, because I have had some people that are like, look, man, you did so much for me. I'm where I'm at right now because of what you said on this day and how blah, blah, blah. And that's cool, you know what I mean? But it seemed like the people that I wanted to influence the most are the ones that I couldn't. Right? So that just leaves me with that hole of like, all right, well, I mean, if that's the result, then one thing I know is that if I pour everything into me, it ain't going to be no hole. Like, because I'm thorough like that. I'm just, you know.
There's not going to be a hole with you. And on top of that, like, fuck who you influence or have a benefit on. Like, you do you have that energy, that ball, and like that train goes this way, and you're maybe hoping that this person gets influenced. They don't. But this person over here that you had no idea about got influenced off of that, you know? So it's just like, you keep doing your thing, keep going like this way, and the right people will be attracted to that and be influenced by that without you even realizing that. You know, it's funny you talk about like that balance of like, you know, the children, and then like what you wanted to do. I'm kind of dealing with that now, where it's kind of like, man, like, am I giving enough time to like the boys? Am I kind of doing this? But at the same time, it's like, but I'm trying to show them a lesson too, where it's like, hey, like you're never too old to go try and like chase a dream. You know, you're never too old to try and go do this. So it's like it's that weird like counterbalance here, where it's like, hey, listen, I'm gonna give you all this dad time over here, but then over here I'm gonna give myself a little bit of time, because I'm trying to show you guys and teach you guys this lesson of like, hey, like if you got something, go get it, you know, and this is the hard work that you pour into that. So it's like that double like, hey, I hope you guys are seeing this part of it over here, and not like, oh, you know, Dad's kind of doing his thing, or he's doing this over here. It's like, no, like I'm yes, I am doing my thing, but I'm also trying to show you guys and teach you guys like this here of like these life lessons of, you know, like, hey, like go take a chance, go take a risk, you know, like go chase this dream, go do this. Like, so it's like, so it's funny that you say that aspect of it, because that's like where I'm kind of dealing with it on that aspect of it, is that juggling effect, you know. So
right, you're juggling where I was juggling 20 years ago. I'm at the end of it. Like, yeah, you guys are grown.
I'm about almost at the end of it.
You do that thing, you know what I mean? Like, yeah.
Shoot, I think my daughter's only been home like this whole summer vacation so far, maybe 3-4 times. Like, she comes in, I'm going to cheerleading, I'm going to my friends, I'm going to my cousin.
She's at that age, you know, where she's kind of blossoming, kind of
she's
coming to her own now.
Yep.
Well, gentlemen, it's been a pleasure. Thank you very much.
Oh,
Thank you.
Yeah, man.
Happy Father's Day to you as well, man.
Happy Father's Day to you, brother.
To you,
brother. We're going to be another part 2 after we get the more movies and stuff done.
Yes, absolutely. 100%. Well, definitely be a part 2. Till next episode, guys. Have a good one.
Boom.